our officials for this game. Sherwin Pineda, Mike Lorderiza leading our group of officials for this particular matchup. Again, this is an important one. This is a battle for the top seed. TNT 4-0. Meralco, not just to secure your berth into the playoffs and possibly a better position. As you see, Newsome continuing to pass from Raymond Almazan. Give and go action right there. Basic basketball, but when executed to perfection, sometimes Raymond Almazan. But at the end of the day, the heart and soul and the keys of this squad has been given to Newsome. Williams to Heruela. Heruela will hit again. All 5 points of very, very early. TNT just trust in each other. It doesn't always have. He had spent his entire PBA career with the Blackwater Elite prior to the recent trade that brought him here. Falling behind here. Only 2 seconds left on the shot clock. Malik C knows about it and does something about it. Out and defend. William out to Pugoy. RR, he thrives in that kind of offense. He had played for the national team under the leadership of Coach Chot Reyes, so they are familiar with what he like trying to do with TNT. He's so lethal. He can knock down those outside shots because he can easily put that ball on the floor and attack as well. TNT looking like a well-oiled out there in the venue supporting, your favorite teams and players, but at the very least, live sports, live basketball, hard to complain. To this bubble, as we take a look at this, that steal. And then Mikey Williams, as we mentioned earlier, he's someone who can shoot from outside.
Really show what he was able to do in that game, but also the last game, we got a chance to see exactly why TNT drafted this young man.
Around and has played in so many leagues, including Ali, the NBA G League.
NBA G League. He impressed me a lot. He used to work out, was part of that trade.
Bong Quinto, after a couple of bounces on the rim, was able.
Is that the last 2 games Coach Chut has coached have been against his former assistants. Well, if you want to consider Coach Norman a former.
As well,
wow.
So interesting things, that happen here. This time, though, look at that move from Boy Eram.
That's not the first time.
Also good to see him back on the floor with TNT. Remember, it was his rookie year last year. As you mentioned, the scoring ability of Kobuntin. He asks, is this what you're talking about?
Really carried them through. And again, right on point as we see another steal by TNT. This time, Jason Castro converting.
Points as well for Elaine Maliksi and 2 for Art Pinto.
Oh, nice pass. Chris Newsom, 2.
Art Pugoy getting his own rebound after missing that bailout 3-pointer. And it's Eram who turns it into his own. Love that he knocked that down in front of Cliff Hodge. Like Ali said, those 2 guys got tangled up numerous times earlier. We have a timeout brought to semi-bubble because, they are coming off of different kinds of games. A 20-point blowout where they were able to rest some of the...
As a matter of fact, Morocco's offense has been dismal so far in this first half.
And you see Kobuntin able to get the putback. Might be around 25% from the field, Ali, but it's another to only have 1 offensive rebound when you were in the defensive tactics that Coach Chot has thrown at Meralco. It has been difficult for the Bolts, and it has powered TNT on their offensive end. We have a timeout brought to you by Farming Enough.
Yeah, it's already good enough. And like I said earlier, points from turnovers, they're averaging around 20 per game.
Or a backcourt violation there as Williams passed it to, Williams. The 2 Williams connecting.
Of the game so far.
He has been fiery from deep. You're absolutely correct. 3 of 4 from downtown, but the immediate response
Meralco bolts.
Especially too that he is a second round pick, Ali. That's
Yes.
something many people forget. Jason Castro though, where the school, the Davsu school is positioned and located, and all this looks familiar. For Jason Castro and for all was ready to really step away from the game of basketball, but it kept calling him back, especially with the return of Coach Chot Reyes.
I think that made a lot of difference. And like we saw in the last game, TNT implementing that full court press, trying to force another rebound given up.
That's 9 offensive rebounds already for TNT. And again, they've scored a bunch.
That's
of
10.
points.
That's 10.
Steps back, shoots a three-pointer. Nothing there. Hodge again back on the ground. By my unofficial count, he's to the floor.
Figure out a way to climb back into this game.
Williams. Oh, Kelly sneaks one through.
Oh, he's...
The standings or the records of these two teams, you would think that, yes, maybe TNT is the undefeated team, and you think that Meralco would be in the standings. But I also understand, Ali, that this is just the way basketball is.
Yes,
sometimes towards your favor. The good thing for Meralco, though, is that they still have a lot of time on the clock to try and right the... Mikey Williams, he has definitely had a hot hand.
By Bonquito, and another turnover committed by Meralco because of the defense, but it looked like our Pogoi rather, offense.
Kelly Williams with a nice no-look pass to Pogoi, who streaks to the basket for the Deuce. On Meralco, and every one of them, possibly Newsome, the provider, yes he does, gives them 2 points. Opportunities for TNT as Pogoi initially faked that pass to Rosario. Not just second chance opportunities, Ali. Third chances.
Third chance opportunities.
Well, you know what? Aaron Black actually posted a video a couple of years as
Nice
Newsome
block by Chris
gets the
Great
block.
hustle. Wow. And
Look at this. Newsome showing that he still has the hops. Cobuntin's layup stood no chance. Newsome. Here's Hodge. They're moving that ball around, but not really finding the gaps in the defense. Hodge able to find a way to score. The lead of TNT reached a high of 30 points. Meralco able to get it, well, within 24 at some point before Eram.
but he's got to be able to secure those type of handles and be able to finish underneath the basket. What we just saw right there.
It looks like Meralco is trying to trap, and it works. Even Jason Castro losing, that was
is crashing the boards. Now, this has been going on ever since his Coca-Cola days. You think about guys like Rob Wainwright, Rafi Rivas, and then Poch Winyo.
PBA drafts. What we always like to do in articles, in TV presentations where we cover the draft, we give that possibly gives a player to live up to that comparison or expectation.
I remember Nick Velasco telling me that when he was interviewers can handle it, some players can't. Some players, it takes more time to be able to deal with that type of pressure. And tell you,
just missing that one, Pinto actually opted for Quinto on that 3-on-1 break, and you just want to be able to capitalize on those. That shot.
Rebound, JP Adam to be exact.
Castro now leaves it for Pogoi. Pogoi straight to the basket.
Second chance for TNT here.
Pinto gets it off the glass, beats the buzzer, and that right before that play. So that layup from Pogoi almost sort of neutralized that momentum that was swinging towards Meralco's side, but this shot from Pinto right at the buzzers. But you see, that's exactly what Meralco was able to do. 23 points off turnovers in the first half.
The advantage in the first half towards TNT. Now, JP Adam was trying to tap it to his teammates, but he
We actually haven't seen much from Chris Newsom. Hasn't had the kindness of afternoons and evenings also. But they spot Quinto. Shies away from the three. Here's Hugnatan from the right elbow. Bottom of the net.
Great ball movement there by categories so far in this conference. One of the reasons why you're talking about two of the best teams in the league right now. It's a nice move there.
That open three-pointer. Williams taking it to the other side.
He just took matters into his own hands there. He didn't even wait for his teammates.
For to make a ball game out of this after going down by 30, but then TNT, they just have so many weapons in their bag.
That was a nice move. Speaking of weapons, Judd, Mikey Williams with nice focus.
His whistle, and Hodge and Pinto get left in the backcourt, asking the referee what happened, and that allows Mikey Williams to hit a three.
Three-point shot, especially on the court together, particularly Jimmy Alapag, Jason Castro, was their ability not only to attack the basket and penetrate, but also knocking down three-point shot.
On this Meralco team,
it's remarkable.
Averaging 9.7 points. Yeah, he's just something else.
Put back by Jason Williams this time. Or excuse me, yes, Jason Castro this time.
Well, I understand where that is coming from, with of course.
He played in practice, but I never taped any games.
Wow.
I just never, you know, it just, it's a nice take by Mikey Williams. That's 25 points off.
Meralco, particularly Newsom.
Yeah, it's been tough. It's been a tough night for Chris Newsom.
And if you look back at the game that he had against Magnolia, picks up his fifth foul. Mikey Williams, again, you know, Ali, at this point, he's letting everyone know.
They have been, how many players were tested positive as safety guidelines were implemented for specific teams.
And then Ray Parks had a brilliant game. And then JP Aaron actually set a new career high in points as well. And
recovery is so key here. Each and every one of these players are out of their element, out of their comfort zone, away from their families. And so
maybe lift weights in the middle of all this?
Possibly weights, but I mean, you know, what I've always been told, Judd, is, you know, sometimes less is best.